Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here. Thanks for watching weatherweb.net. Now look, I know you get fed up by hearing me say that the site's kept free of charge by the adverts that are around the screen here, and by you using the adverts and using the charts, that generates the revenue, which means we stay free of charge. I know you get fed up with me saying that, but I have to say it because it's true. That's what keeps the site free of charge. So now I've done that. This is the ECMWF temperature trace for the next few days. Bit of an up and downer really, but at least it's not as cold as it was 10 days or so ago. We've got this rising temperature look that takes place into the early to middle part of next week, but then we do see up and down temperatures and hints that the ECMWF trying to get things cooler again by about the 27th, 28th. Now, that's showing some consistency on all the models. Remember yesterday I was talking about the idea of it turning cooler the weekend after the coming weekend, and it looks as if that is now happening. All models are backing that up, so I'll show you more of that in just a mo. But just back to today first of all, and we've got low pressure northeast of Scotland through the course of today. We've got an occluded front just moving into northern Scotland, Northern Ireland, that bringing outbreaks of rain. A trough moving across central parts of the country as well. That's the trough on here, which is producing some showers. Note how close together the ice bars are as well. It was a really, really windy night, wasn't it, last night? And it looks as if those winds are going to be staying with us. Not quite so strong as they were, but certainly it's going to be a breezy and a cool day. Now, a bit of a change for tomorrow on Friday, because still got this residual moisture left down these eastern coast, bringing some cloud and perhaps some showery outbreaks of rain. But for most, you can see this ridge of high pressure that builds in. That's going to be bringing better, drier conditions and lighter winds too. I know many of you are farming and you need to get out there spraying. Well, it looks as if we should find much lighter winds through Friday. I think there will be a fair amount of cloud, particularly northern and western areas, but there should be some sunny spells for some, best of them probably through the afternoon. Those of you planning to go sailing, looks reasonable as well, with a northwesterly across many of the southern half of the country, probably around a force 3. More of a southwesterly across northern Scotland, force 4 or force 5. If you're planning on going flying, not bad either. Generally, it's visual flight conditions. Reasonable bases. It's just going to be cloud bases recently. It's just eastern parts of England that see any problems. And then as we get in towards Saturday, so the high stays with us, down to the south look. Still got fronts up towards the north and the west. They'll be bringing some clouds, some outbreaks of rain. Drizzle really can't be ruled out any time northern and western Scotland, western parts of Ireland. But for most, it looks as if it's going to be dry. There'll be some sunny spells around and just light southwesterly winds. Now into Sunday, you've got a weak front that just moves into the west. It brings rain through western Scotland, edging into northwest England later and into the west of Wales, but brighter across Ireland and across western parts of Scotland. I think dry with some good sunny spells across central and eastern parts of England as well as the south, and again just light winds here. Monday sees the remnants of the cold front just affecting the far southeastern corner here. I think that means just cloud and 1 or 2 spots of rain, but for many it'll become bright ahead of a further set of fronts arriving from the west. Notice the isobars, look how close together they've come again across Scotland and Northern Ireland, so becoming windy there as well as the rain spreading in. Then Tuesday, well, Tuesday sees the high building back in across the south. Now, I think this could be a fairly cloudy high. I think we're going to be finding a fair amount of cloud across southern parts of England, that producing 1 or 2 spots of rain. But elsewhere, should be dry. Best of the sunshine probably affecting these more eastern coasts. To the west, though, I think more cloud and some spots of rain. This is drizzle here for western Scotland and for the west of Ireland. Now, in terms of rainfall, still relatively dry for many eastern and southern areas. You see here, we've got rainfall figures between about 5 and 10 millimetres. Far more rain affecting the western coast of Scotland and down through the west of Ireland as well, with 30 to 50 millimetres of rain falling there because of the prevailing west or southwesterly winds. And also, look, southwest Scotland, northwest England, perhaps the far western parts of Wales, seeing 20 to 30 millimetres. But for many, it's not completely dry, but certainly the weather is on the dry side. Now, I mentioned further ahead, this is the position on the 28th of April. Just want to jump forward to that because this is the weekend I've been telling you about turning cooler. And you see here from the Canadian GEM forecast, we've got low pressure off towards the east of Scotland there. And it's hinting at conditions becoming much cooler with a northwesterly wind. That would be unsettled with showers as well and windy too. But still at that ridge look out in the Atlantic. You see the agreement from the ECMWF, got its low out towards the east, look, northwesterly flow, staying unsettled, not quite so windy, but remaining on the cool side, and the ridge again in the Atlantic, which is what's turning the flow into the northwest. And we stay with that idea as well from the GFS ensemble, still keeping low pressure here, look, and still keeping this north or northwesterly flow. So again, these cool, showery ideas continue. Should just point out the ridge there in the Atlantic, which turns that flow look into a northwesterly. So all models are in agreement that this is how things are going to go. But what happens next? Well, this is the ECMWF from a couple of days later on the 30th. Still got the low out towards the east, so it's keeping it as quite a feature, you'll notice. Got a ridge building out in the Atlantic here. But by the 2nd of May, very little change. Look, still got the ridge there. Still got the trough lying through the country. And even by the 4th, the ridge is only slowly moving towards the country with the trough here. Now all that is generally pointing towards this cooler, more unsettled, very late April, early part of May. However, what I think will happen is this ridge should eventually manage to build its way in. Even if it's only affecting the west of the country, it should get in. We'll look at that in more detail for tomorrow, but certainly, like I say, we need to be planning on this idea of becoming cooler the weekend after next and more unsettled too. So for now, thanks for watching weatherweb.net and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.